I'm Jimmy Bach, and this is History with Jimmy, along with my producer, Chandler Holmes. This is episode 17. We are going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be reversing roles, as the producer of the History with Jimmy, Chandler Holmes, is going to be doing episode 17 as a local history buff himself. He has some items that he's going to talk about today, and so we're glad that he's here to do this. So this time, I'm going to introduce my producer, Hall of Fame producer, Chandler Holmes. Chandler?
Hello. Alright, so we're going to be going through progression of United States military helmets, starting from World War I, going all the way to the Korean and the Vietnam era. So let's start with this first piece right here. This is our first helmet we're going to be looking at. It's a helmet from World War I. It was donated locally from J. Smith. So we're going to look at it. We see the inside of this helmet. One thing about these types of helmets from World War I, the United States got into World War I very late, probably about the 1917. So they looked at it, and they're mainly based off of the British design, and a lot of World War I helmets that United States soldiers were wearing were just British helmets that were given to the United States. There were a few that were made in the United States and given to United States soldiers during World War I. We're going to look at it. The one downfall with these helmets that people kept finding was that if one item broke on the whole helmet would have to be thrown out and replaced entirely. Like, you can't, if this chin strap broke, there's no way to replace that without getting rid of the whole helmet and putting a new liner in. And that got changed when we get to our next helmet, which was between World War I and World War II, so the peacetime era. This is a 1917 A1 helmet. It's known as a Kelly helmet. So we take a look at it and we see some differences right off the bat, mainly that the inside's leather. We got a different chin strap, and we can see that if something broke on this helmet, it would be easy to replace it. Like if the chin strap broke, it's just sewn on there. We can sew a new one on. The leather liner can be taken out. Everything on this helmet is replaceable. But if we look at these two types of helmets, we see that the shells are both the same. That's because to save on costs, the United States military just saved over a lot of the helmets from World War I and just put in a different liner in them and converted them to the 1917 A1 models. These types of helmets were they were mainly focused on trench warfare. And that's why we see the brim of them goes out to the side. That was to prevent shrapnel that would be coming over your head, to divert it from the soldier's head, and so it wouldn't hit him that way. But that changed over into World War II. Once we got into after Pearl Harbor, which you can see a lot of these helmets from Pearl Harbor, but once you get any later, you start seeing these new helmets, which are called the M1 helmets. And there are a lot of differences between these two helmets and this helmet right here. We can see that they went away from this little shell design, and they went to what we more know as a helmet now. This helmet has two chin straps, and that's because this helmet comes into two pieces right here. You have the liner and you have the shell. Now the whole liner is replaceable and removable, unlike these ones. So this is our liner. You see it has a leather chin strap. You can see some people from pictures, you see them in training, they would just have their liners on instead of the whole helmet. Now the helmet itself is a little bit heavier than these two helmets, but it has a lot more functionality. You can use it as like a pot or something if you had to. You can replace the chin strap. Everything on this helmet is interchangeable and can be changed out if something was broken on it. So this is our M1 helmet, and it's our upgrade from our 1917 A1 helmet. Okay? Then moving on to the Korean War. They changed a few things about it, mainly the cover. The color of the cover on it, it's a little bit different. It's a lighter shade of OD. The liner is also different. It has a green webbing on the inside. The chin strap is also green on it. So just little things like that. Also, you have the bales that the helmet strap is attached to. They swivel. On the old World War I ones, World War II ones, they're fixed on there. And then late World War II, they found that the bales on them kept breaking, and then you would have to get a whole new shell on it. So they made them so that they swivel now and won't break. This helmet also is in two pieces. It's still an M1 helmet. It's just a little bit upgraded. See, the shell and the liner are pretty much the same from World War II over into the Korean and Vietnam War, but they are a little bit different. another thing about helmets, we don't have any with us, but there are helmet nets that could have been worn. You'd see these worn by paratroopers and Marines and even infantrymen later on in the war, World War II, and that was so they can put like sticks and stuff to really conceal themselves into their environment better. You also see some stuff with Marines in World War II, and then with all soldiers into Vietnam, you see helmet covers, like full-on helmet covers, and those are camouflage, and they get tucked around the shell of the helmet and then secured with the liner. So these are the helmets that we have all the way from World War I to Korea and Vietnam. You can see that there was a big change in the way that wars were fought in between these, just based on the helmets themselves. So this is producer Chandler signing off. History with Jimmy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.